So people are asking me to speak about the violence in Philadelphia and how the younger kids are different from my generation. I want to say this. First and foremost, I'm not a preacher. I'm not preaching to nobody's kids. I'm not doing none of that. However, I will say this. We're living in unprecedented times. The world is progressing around us, and the world has progressed around us for the last 14 months. There's things that happen in the streets of Philadelphia and, urban cities worldwide that we could never understand. Me as a street dude, and some people as citizens, you could never understand the violence. Some of it is about money, some of it is about revenge, some of it is about women, and some of it is just about flat out mental health problems. So I say that to say, I can't really speak on the violence without knowing the full story. But what I can say is, if people make mistakes, there might be a guy walking down the street, and he might be, someone may think he's someone else, and he may get shot. That isn't right. And I wouldn't be able to speak on it unless I knew the exact situation. Then there's situations where 5 people are shot at a cookout. That's not a mistake. That's intentional. If you see innocent men, women, and children at a cookout and you choose to shoot, chasing one person, you meant to do that. So from my perspective, I can say that that's sucker shit. And I'm going to leave that situation there. Now, in terms of us living in a war zone, the urban cities has been a war zone since the beginning of time. That ain't going to never change. However, politicians have continuously misused our urban cities as a stepping stone to play politics with our lives. They're more concerned with their political careers than helping us. If you look at the crack laws, they're just starting to clean that up 30 years later, because someone recognized that those laws were outdated. Those laws were designed and targeted men of color, women of color, and adolescents of color. So if we allow the violence in Philadelphia and worldwide to pull on our heartstrings and we react off emotions, what's going to happen is the same thing that's happening now. 30 years down the line, a progressive mind is going to step up to the plate, and they're simply going to say, "Oh, this shit is wrong. This should happen. This should happen here, there, and there." They're going to give a historical perspective on why the law should be changed. So unless we have a plan, then I don't think that the politicians should be allowed to take our situation in the ghetto and use it as a stepping stone to further their political careers. That's all I can really say in terms of the violence. Because at the end of the day, I'm a street dude. I may not be involved no more, but I still think like I'm still in the streets. I can see it from different perspectives. I can see it from a million miles away, and I can see it up close and personal because I've lived it. Nevertheless, please, whomever is going to hear this, don't allow them politicians to misuse one individual situation in the ghetto, or even 2, and use that as a springboard to create a law that's going to get more black boys, more black men, more young black females incarcerated. That's all I really have to say on that issue.
Charles Davis.
It's on. So people are asking me to speak about the violence in Philadelphia